July is going to be good for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 owners. We're talking action RPGs, rhythm games, fighting games, detective adventures, and even a vampire farming sim. There's genuinely something for every type of gamer this month, and I'm here to break all of it down for you. Let's get into it. The Relic, First Guardian. You're the last Guardian, the only one who can collect the broken pieces of that relic and close the void before it consumes what's left of the world. But it's not just about picking up fragments along the way. You're absorbing the memories and emotions of the people who died, and those memories come in the form of runes that literally reshape how you fight. There are no character levels here. Instead, you grow by collecting over 70 unique passive runes that change your skill behavior, alter combat speed, and enhance your weapon style. You pick from 5 weapon types, each with 12 exclusive skill trees, and you can blend them to create your own class. The combat is built around an interesting idea. Stamina is only used for defense and dodging, so your attacks and skills have no resource cost at all. You just go and adapt on the fly. Moss, the Forgotten Relic, is the complete package of the original Moss and Moss Book 2, now reimagined for flat-screen play on Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 for the first time. Originally built for VR, developer Polyarc has rebuilt the whole experience from scratch. New controls, reworked camera with a smart follow system, new handcrafted cutscenes, and all the Twilight Garden DLC included. You play as the reader, that's literally you, and your job is to guide Quill, a tiny but brave mouse, through a fallen kingdom full of puzzles and danger. The dual perspective setup is genuinely cool. Quill acts and moves on her own, but she looks to you for direction, protection, and trust. You're not just controlling her, you're her guardian. The puzzles are woven into the environment like dioramas, where you interact with the world itself to help Quill solve problems and progress. Rhythm Heaven is finally back, after more than a decade. The last all-new entry, Rhythm Heaven Fever, came out in 2011, and the series has been basically dormant ever since. Groove is the 5th mainline game, and it brings back everything fans loved. Simple 1 or 2 button input gameplay, wildly varied minigames, and music produced by the legendary Tsunku, who's been composing for the series since day one. The game packs over 80 brand new rhythm minigames in single player, each one quirky and bizarre in the best possible way, like Slice and Dice Kitchen, where you chop vegetables to a beat while a cat watches from the counter. There's also a multiplayer mode, with over 30 co-op and competitive rhythm games for up to 4 players, and a new unlockable mode called Beat Spell, which is genuinely new for the series. It's an RPG-style mode where you fight monsters using rhythm-based spell combos. If you ever played Patapon on the PSP, Ratatan is going to feel like a long-lost cousin. Made by the creator of Patapon's design and developed by Ratata Arts, this is a rhythm roguelite action game where you command an army by playing rhythmic musical commands in real time. You play as a Ratatan, a creature with a magical instrument called a melodium, and you use it to issue beat-driven orders to your Koban army. March, attack, defend, retreat. Your timing and rhythm directly control the chaos on the battlefield, which gets absolutely insane with over 100 characters fighting at once in side-scrolling action. The roguelite layer means every run is different. You pick up random power-ups and upgrades along the way, and your Koban gets stronger in ways that are never quite the same twice. The world is Rataport, a lively island where the Ratatan live, and they're on a quest to reach the Ever After and meet a legendary goddess. If you grew up with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or Dave Mirra BMX, and you've been waiting for something to scratch that itch, Streetdog BMX might be it. Made by a solo developer, Adam Hunt, a lifelong BMX rider, this game is a pure arcade-style extreme sports experience built around 6 massive open maps packed with ramps, rails, gaps, bowls, and wall rides just waiting to be found. There's no story mode pushing you through a linear campaign. Instead, you get 6 big open playgrounds and over 270 handcrafted challenges that encourage you to find your own lines, master trick combos, and chase high scores. The trick system lets you throw bar spins, backflips, crooked grinds, crank flips, manuals, fakies, the full toolkit. And chaining them together into big combo runs is where the gameplay really sings. You can go hard and chase scores, or just cruise and feel the flow. The first Xenoblade Chronicles is one of the most beloved JRPGs ever made, and it just got the full Switch 2 upgrade treatment. This is the Definitive Edition, which already included the original game, plus the future connected epilogue, and improvements over the original Wii version, now running at 4K in TV mode and full HD handheld locked at 60 frames per second. That alone is a massive difference for a game that used to chug along at 30. But Nintendo also added new content exclusive to this version. There's a new high-speed vehicle called the Etherjet that lets you zip across the massive world of Bionis and Mechonis, plus racing modes that earn you in-game rewards, new equipment designs, and voice dialogue for the heart-to-heart relationship scenes for the first time ever. The digital version is already out, and the physical arrives July 30th. Granblue Fantasy Relink was one of 2024's best action RPGs, and now Switch 2 players are getting the full deal with the Endless Ragnarok edition. This isn't a port, it's the complete package, including the base game, plus all post-launch expansions, a new story chapter, new playable characters like Beatrix, a brand new solo mode called the Conflux, new master traits to push characters to their limits, and summons as a new combat mechanic. The core game has you forming a party of 4, each with their own completely unique combat style, and fighting through quests in a sky-filled world of islands called the Sky Realm. Combat is fast and flashy. You've got link attacks for explosive party combos, chain bursts, and each character feels genuinely different to play. There's also a full 20 to 30 hour story mode that you complete solo, and then the real depth opens up through multiplayer quests with up to 4 players. Denshattack is a Jet Set Radio-inspired action game, where your vehicle is a gravity-defying train. You flip, trick, and grind your train across a vivid, dystopian version of Japan that's been sealed under domes by a shadowy corporation called Miraido. And your goal is to outmatch rival gangs, earn respect, and bring the tracks back to the people. You play from novice to seasoned pro across regions from Kyushu's countryside through Osaka and Tokyo to Hokkaido's snowfields, doing tricks off ramps, grinding rails, chaining combos, and racking up points like an arcade game. The boss fights get progressively wilder. Mecha magical girls, moving castles, mechanical worms, an entire army of Denshattackers. It escalates in the best way. Each region is packed with fresh mechanics and new rules to break. The visual style pops with color, and the whole game has this raw, underground energy to it. Avatar Legends, the fighting game. The launch roster has 12 fighters pulled from both Avatar, The Last Airbender, and The Legend of Korra. Aang, Korra, Azula, Zahir, and more, with 5 additional characters coming post-launch. Every character is hand-animated, with over 900 frames per fighter, preserving the expressive animation style of the shows. The gameplay is built around a flow system that emphasizes movement-centric combat positioning. Momentum and fluidity are central to how fights feel. Each fighter's bending style is distinct. Water, earth, fire, and air all play differently, and you can equip a support character who adds additional special moves and influences your playstyle. There's rollback netcode for solid online, full crossplay across platforms, a single-player story mode, combo trials, a gallery with original artwork, and ranked and casual multiplayer. Heave Ho is back, and this time you can play with your friends online, which was the one thing the original desperately needed. If you haven't played the first game, the concept is simple and brilliant. You control a long-armed ragdoll character and have to grab, swing, and grapple your way across stages without falling into the void. That's it. What makes it special is how absolutely chaotic it gets when multiple players are clinging to each other, swinging from platforms, and dropping their friends at the worst possible moments. The sequel keeps everything that worked and adds 8 all-new themed worlds, from zero-gravity space to full kitchen chaos, each with fresh mechanics and new interactive gadgets like pop guns, sauce bottles, drones, levers, and keys. For the first time, you can play online co-op and versus with 2 to 4 players, which completely opens up who can experience it together. Culdcept Begins. You roll dice to move around a board, claim territories by placing creature cards on them, and collect tolls from opponents who land on your territory. The goal is to accumulate enough magic power and return to the castle, but every step of the way, you're using your custom 40-card deck to fight for control. The game has over 400 cards, split into 3 types. Creature cards summon fighters for territories, item cards boost them in battle with special abilities, and spell cards manipulate the board and shift momentum. 5 elemental attributes add another layer of strategy when creatures clash. This entry is a prequel to the original Culdcept, set on the continent of Bavrashka, and follows a young student named Kamor, who gets selected for the Royal Scepter Guard Regiment and awakens as a scepter during a continent-threatening conflict. D-topia. You play as a facilitator, a maintenance worker whose job is to solve logic-based puzzles, fix problems around the facility, and keep residents satisfied. But the further you go, the more you realize the puzzles aren't just mechanical. The residents all have their own stories and personal struggles. Your choices shape their futures, and the whole perfect utopia starts showing cracks. The gameplay has you moving between the bright public face of D-topia and a hidden block side, a glitchy, darker layer of the facility where you uncover secrets about what the Utopia project is actually doing. It's a calm-paced game, cozy in its moment-to-moment feel, but genuinely asking big questions about free will, purpose, and what it actually means to be happy in a system designed to engineer that happiness for you. Think of it as the kind of game you play when you want something that quietly surprises you. Go-Go Town. The premise puts you in the mayor's chair of a completely run-down tourist destination that it's your job to transform into something worth visiting. You lay down streets, zone neighborhoods, build homes and shops, hire workers, manage supply chains, set up logistics networks, and keep the whole thing running while increasingly chaotic visitors show up, including clowns, robots, dinosaurs, and aliens who claim they're just passing through. The game blends city planning creativity with management depth. You can automate deliveries, optimize production pipelines, and micromanage every building's configuration. Or you can step back and let systems run themselves. When the mayor duties get overwhelming, you can fish, race go-karts, or high-five a cow. It's that kind of game. Solo play gives you total control, while two-player online or local co-op on Switch turns the whole thing into chaotic shared mayhem. This is the full Xenoblade Chronicles 2 experience, the epic story of Rex and Pyra, a driver and his blade, bonded by purpose and hope, journeying across a world of Titan-backed continents, floating above an endless sea of clouds to reach the paradise of Elysium. The game has one of the most emotionally rich stories in JRPG history, a massive cast of blades to collect with their own side stories, and a deep combat system where you manage two characters simultaneously, chaining blade combos, arts, and special attacks. The Switch 2 edition runs at 4K in TV mode and full HD handheld, all at 60 frames per second, which is a dramatic upgrade from the original Switch version that could drop to rough performance in demanding areas. Full HD at 60 frames per second in handheld mode alone is worth it. If you already own the Switch version, there's an upgrade pack available. Farlands. You bought a planet. A cheap one, an old agrarian rock on the edge of the galaxy that nobody wanted, practically given away. With your worn-out ship and a personal assistance droid, you head out there to start fresh. What follows is a farming game with Stardew Valley DNA transplanted into outer space. You clear weeds, plant alien crops, mine caves, chop trees, and build up your homestead from scratch. But the alien setting adds real variety. You explore multiple planets with distinct biomes, encounter alien NPCs, including frog people and cat-like beings, and can build relationships or even pursue romance with a range of characters. There's a story to piece together about the world's history, if you want it, or you can completely ignore it and just farm in peace. There's something genuinely freeing about doing Stardew Valley things on a planet where the livestock are extraterrestrial and the crops glow. The Mermaid Mask. Captain Magnus Mortuga, the enigmatic captain of the world's strangest submarine, has been found dead in a locked room with a single fatal wound and no weapon anywhere in sight. Some say he was a vampire. Others say an immortal time traveler. The only thing in the chamber is an ancient, barnacle-covered cauldron that was recently opened and left eerily empty. You step into the shoes of Detective Grimoire and his sharp-tongued sidekick Sally, summoned to the submarine by the mysterious Captain Seafoam to figure out what actually happened. The gameplay builds on Tangle Tower. You explore a fully 3D handcrafted environment, examine interactive 3D clues, interrogate an eccentric cast of fully voice-acted suspects, and piece together a mystery that keeps shifting under you. It has that SFB signature of dark themes wrapped in very British humor, with a cinematic score recorded by the Budapest Art Orchestra. High on Life 2, built around the absurd premise of fighting an intergalactic drug cartel alongside talking alien weapons called Gatlians. The sequel picks up after all that, you've become a famous bounty hunter, you've got money and love and fame, and then everything goes sideways when a mysterious figure from your past puts a price on your sister's head. The gameplay expands significantly on the original. You've got your arsenal of chatty Gatlians, but now you can actually choose dialogue responses when talking to them. The traversal is dramatically better too. The skateboard, which was originally cut from the first game, is now a full central mechanic, letting you grind rails, wall ride, and kickflip alien cops in the face. There are 3 large hub areas this time versus just 1 in the original, and the game leans into Metroidvania structure more deliberately. The comedy star cast is enormous. Tim Robinson, J.B. Smoove, Ralph Ineson, Gabourey Sidibe, and many more. Digimon Storytime, Stranger. This is the best Digimon story game in years, maybe ever, and the premise hits different. You play as an agent of a secret organization called Adamus, During a mission, you witness a city-leveling explosion caused by an unknown creature, and then wake up 8 years in the past. From there, the story is about uncovering the mystery of the world's eventual collapse by moving between the human world and the digital world, Iliad, a beautifully detailed alternate dimension where Digimon reside. The game is a monster-taming RPG at heart. You collect and raise over 450 Digimon, bond with them, digivolve them into powerful forms, and build a team that fits your strategy. Turn-based combat is dynamic and layered, with deep customization options across your party. The story involves parallel timelines, fate, and the bond between humans and Digimon in a way that's genuinely emotional. Splatoon Raiders is Nintendo's first major Switch 2 exclusive this month, and it's doing something the franchise has never done before, putting the single-player adventure front and center. This is a spin-off starring Deep Cut Shiver, Fry, and Big Man, and you play as their mechanic, heading to the mysterious Spiralite Islands on a high-stakes treasure raid against waves of summonids. The islands are built for exploration. You're scouting out locations, raiding for treasure and resources, then bringing them back to upgrade your base and craft better gadgets for the next run. The combat is still classic Splatoon third-person shooter action with ink-based weapons, but the structure is way more adventure-focused than any campaign the series has had before. Deep Cut isn't just hanging around at HQ this time. All 3 of them fight alongside you, launching special attacks and even letting you ride Big Man as a combat unit. Shiver and Fry actively help in battle too. Moonlight Peaks, a supernatural life sim from Little Chicken Game Company, published by Heave Games, and yes, it's gotten universal critical acclaim with scores in the 90s across the board. You play as a young vampire who's done with being Count Dracula's heir. Instead of carrying on the dark family legacy, you pack up your coffin and move to your family's abandoned homestead in the magical town of Moonlight Peaks to prove to your father and yourself that a life of compassion is possible, even for the undead. The town is full of werewolves, witches, mermaids, and creatures from 7 distinct family lineages, each with their own secrets to uncover. You rebuild and customize your gothic farm, grow enchanted crops, raise magical livestock, brew potions, and expand your spellbook. You gain vampire abilities over time. Shape-shifting lets you explore new parts of town. Witchcraft spells help with farming and gathering. That's the full rundown of 20 massive games hitting Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 this July. If this helped you figure out what's going in your cart, smash that like button and subscribe. See you in the next one.